Hi guys, it's Michelle, Deception Bytes, and I'm bringing you more Q. It is July 2nd, and it is 3:04 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm putting in a little bit of time. I'm waiting for the press briefing. I did hear from a source that there was a false flag averted today. I'm not sure, but time will tell. I'm really not sure what is going to be addressed in the press briefing, but I am very curious. And I don't know where you guys are, but I hope you're staying cool because it is sweltering hot. I mean sweltering. Honestly, the birds out there are using pot holders to take the worms out of the ground. I have a friend, she smokes. She walked outside, the cigarette lit itself. So just try to stay cool. Now, my air conditioning, I had to turn it off because it interferes with the recording, so I'm going to try to get through this without it on because let me tell you, it's very uncomfortable here if the air conditioner's off for more than half hour or so. So, anyway, let's get started. Now, the next Q post, because I did miss a day of posting, I was holidaying, and so I am picking up from June 30th. Okay, and Q says, play loud, be proud, fight for what is right, fight for freedom. They will not win. Divide, they try. Fail, will not win. Divide, they try. Fail, they will. Together, where we go one, we go all. Q plus, obviously sent from the Q team. Let's take a look at the video that they want us to watch. Now, I'm really hoping I don't get a strike on this, and I don't know, but let's go. This is very good. It's about 3 minutes.
Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war. But there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? When Nikita Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we're retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better rev than death, or as one commentator put it, he'd rather live on his knees than die on his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of it. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire the shot heard round the world? The martyrs of history were not fools. And our honored dead, who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis, didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay, there is a point beyond which they must not advance. Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Now, I happen to believe that President Reagan was probably the best orator that ever lived. Unbelievable, that speech. It's just unbelievable, and it really touches me. Along with the visuals of, servicemen coming back, holding their babies that have been born while they've been off fighting for the very first time, and being reunited with their families, and just, the sacrifice that our military personnel make is tremendous, and I think that we owe them our respect for sure. Anyway, let's continue on here, because Q continues to encourage us, and here is the next post. And it is also from June 13th. You have a choice. The choice has always been yours. Power to the people. They want you divided. They want race wars. They want class wars. They want religious wars. They want political wars. Use political leaders. They are loud. Groupthink. Public shame against those who challenge. Slavery. They know what is coming. And that is true, that anyone that raises their voice against the liberal agenda is publicly shamed. And we have seen that with Roseanne and with many others. So that is very true. They know what is coming. It is now more clear than ever. Never in our history have they been this exposed. Never in our history have they come out from the shadows to fight. The truth is clearly visible. Defend MS-13, and that seems, that question seems so unnecessary to ask. Of course we wouldn't defend MS-13, but the liberals actually are. They actually are. Some of them. Defend the destruction of our borders? Yeah, why? What would be is there any good in destroying the borders? Is there any good that could come from that? Of course not. Promote the fear of nuclear war if POTUS remains in office? And that's what the narrative has been, especially in Canada. It's like, oh, there's going to be nuclear war if you don't get him out of there. That's what everyone says. Nuclear alert malfunction, as happened in Hawaii. Compare to Hitler/Nazis. Promote violence? And he's saying, do we promote violence? No. No, they're not. Q is not promoting violence. Neither is POTUS. Promoting hate? No, I haven't seen that at all. Promoting war? No. Promoting economic decline? No, we're doing better economically than we have in a very, very long time. Promote North Korea to end talks with POTUS, and that's what they were saying, that North Korea wouldn't go through with it, or they were just trying to pull the wool over Donald Trump's eyes, and he wasn't experienced enough to be dealing with someone of that level, and blah, blah, blah. Promote impeachment for no reason? Yeah. They keep saying impeach, impeach, especially Maxine Waters. She's like got one tune there. Impeach 45. Impeach 45. But he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything that's an impeachable offense. But these people don't stop and think about that, because they think you're too stupid to figure it out for yourself. Promote racism? Certainly not. Certainly not. Promote fascism? Not so far. Now, I don't know what the end game is. I don't know. But has either POTUS or Q promoted fascism? No, absolutely not. Promote riots? No, absolutely not. Form Antifa? Violent group designed to instill fear in free speech? No, that came from the left. That came from Soros. Hatred for America? Well, I'll say one thing. You can say anything you want about Q and those who are for Trump. They don't hate America. They love America. They're patriots. They want to see America do well. They want to see America free. And they want equal rights for all of its citizens. They are scared. Yes, they are. They are losing control. We knew this day would come. We planned. We took control over key elements. We stand at the ready. We fight, dark to light. God bless America. God bless patriots around the world. Think for yourself. Trust yourself. Courage. Together. And then below he puts words from the Declaration of Independence, which we have all heard many times but are beautiful. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Notice that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is a right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall be most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the form to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Be on guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong. Q. Now Q has left us a link here, and I'm going to show you what YouTube video it is, but I'm not going to play it. We have played it many times before.
Our movement.
This is the whole one that I think it says this video will get Donald Trump elected. It is a beautiful video. It has wonderful sentiment, and I would suggest if you have not watched it that you do. It is called This Video Will Get Donald Trump Elected. I'm not going to play it now. I have several times on several videos. All right. Let's go back and go up to the next one. And this is from June 30th as well. And Q posts, he clips this post from an earlier post, and he says, think logically. Ask yourself, is this normal? Conspiracy? Q. All right, now I'm going to take you out to the readable file because we have no hope of being able to read this, especially you guys on your phones. Makes it difficult. One second. Here it is. It takes a minute. The internet is slow today for some reason. La la la. I may have to tell more jokes while we're waiting for this. Da da da. Here we go. All right. So we're not going to pay attention to this part. This is the updated part that he wants us to see. James Baker, fired. Reported today. Resigned. Removed January. Fired 4/21. Lisa Page, fired. Testimony received. Tracking, yes. Mike Cortan, FBI, Assistant Director for Public Affairs, fired. Josh Campbell, Special Assistant to James Comey, fired. David Loffman, Chief of the Justice Department's Counterintelligence and Export Control Section, fired. John Carlin, Assistant Attorney General, Head of DOJ's National Security Division, fired. Sally Yates, Deputy Attorney General and Acting Attorney General, fired. Mary McCord, Acting Assistant Attorney General, Acting Head of DOJ's National Security Division, fired. Bruce Orr, Associate Deputy Attorney General, demoted 2 times, cooperating witness. Rachel Brand, Associate Attorney General, number 3 official behind Deputy AG Attorney General Rosenstein, fired. Cross this against the House Senate resignations, final term announcement, plus CEO departures. Conspiracy? Fake news? The swamp is being drained. Trust the plan. Justice. Q. So Q is assuring us justice is coming. It's coming. And then below he asks again, think logically. Ask yourself, is this normal? Is it normal to lose that many people? Is it normal for that many people to resign and not seek re-election? These people are well paid. And the ones that are dirty politicians, which is a lot on both sides, they get their salaries so-called padded. So you think they would resign of their own? That many? I don't. That's just common sense, right? So let's go back. All right, we're going to go up to the next one. Way up here. Now, Q is referring to this post that we just looked at, and below it, he provides more information by giving us another list. And he asks again, think logically. Ask yourself, is this normal? Conspiracy? Q. So let's go out to this file so that we can read it. Come on now. And here it is. And this is as big as it gets, but this is a list of both Republicans and Democrats that are not seeking election. I don't think I'm going to go down this whole list, but there's a lot, and it's even longer. Look at how long it goes. And at the bottom of this, now of course this was a post from 5/18, and Q says, after listing all these, he says, do not fall victim to the mainstream media and other fake false narrative pushes. Stay the course. Where we go one, we go all. Q. And yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot here, like way more than would be normal. There's a lot of names there. And I don't think it's important to read off every name because it's time consuming, number one. And also, this is easy enough to look up. So let's go back. So Q is, I see a little trend here with these posts that he's trying to encourage us. He's trying to, he knows we're being under attack. He knows that those of us that are bringing, Q stuff to light are being attacked. Those people that are merely following Q and just keeping up on the posts, they're being attacked too, everyone. And we're being attacked from the media. We're being, all media, print media, online media, and television. Radio, everywhere. It's all around us. They think we're nuts. Okay, now, this is from June 30th as well. And Q says, please, or no, I'm sorry, this is a post by an Anon. And this Anon says, please do not let No Name off the hook. And of course, we know that No Name is John McStain. Saying, please do not let No Name off the hook. He is a disgrace to veterans across this great country and needs to be held accountable. And Q says, think Supreme Court vote to confirm coming. No Name action. Every dog has its day. Enjoy the show. Q. So he's saying that key to this prosecuting No Name is this Supreme Court confirmation vote. So they're linked somehow. So we just have to kind of wait on that. And, as we've been waiting a long time. And I know we're all getting antsy. We're all saying, come on already. But there are things happening behind the scenes, and there's been a lot that had to be coordinated before these people could be taken down. Because one of the things that Q said is, okay, what use is it if we indict them but then they're prosecuted, their prosecutors are also dirty? Well, then they get off anyway. So all this stuff had to be cleaned out beforehand. And there's a lot that had to be coordinated. Quite frankly, I don't know how they did it all. But that's why I don't get paid the big bucks. All right. Now, here's the next post by Q. This is on July 1st, which was yesterday. And he posts, we have seen this before. He posts the Antifa, I guess it's their logo. And next to it, there is the 1933 paramilitary wing of the Communist Party of Germany. Now, it's the same. It really is the same. Really. I mean, except for colors, it's the same logo. So, yeah, that tells us a lot, doesn't it? And, oh, I'm sorry, I went on to that one too soon. I missed this one. This one was right after the one where this Anon said, please do not let No Name off the hook. Then the next one, I thought these were connected, but they're not. An Anon says, go Gaudi. And Q responds and says, it will not be Gaudi. Q. Then Q shows us these flags and shows us how similar they are, which we've seen that before, but I think it's important to keep that in our minds as well, because it certainly explains their nature. Okay, and this is the next one from July 1st. ICE executes its mission through the enforcement of more than 400 federal statutes and focuses on smart immigration enforcement, preventing terrorism, and combating the illegal movement of people and trade. Now, this just goes out to the ICE official website, and I don't think it's, although I think this is interesting. New York operation leads to arrest of 36 darknet vendors selling illicit goods, weapons, drugs, and didn't get to all of it. Removes Liberian human rights violator. So ICE does a lot of good, a lot. And leads effort to prevent female genital mutilation at Newark Airport. I mean, this is awesome. So that gives me the shivers. I don't know how one human being could do that to another. But now Q asks, after showing us that, and we see immediately some of the good that they're doing, Q says, abolish ICE? Goodbye, Democrats. Q. Now, there is a move to abolish ICE. And I'm sure you're hearing it because that's the narrative of the day. The list of Democrats calling to abolish ICE keeps growing. The movement to abolish ICE is starting to go mainstream. Yes, I'm hearing it everywhere now. And so I'm not going to read all of this. This is not something, a link that Q provided us. It was just a link that I found to show you that indeed the Democrats are calling to abolish ICE. Ridiculous. But then that's what we've come to expect. All right. And the next one is, Q shows us this little clip from somewhere. And it says, Senator Tim Scott plans to recommend Trey Gowdy for the Supreme Court. But of course, below, in one of the posts we just covered, Q has said, it's not Trey Gowdy. So we can just get that out of our head because Q has already squashed that and said, no, not him. And it says here, Washington, CNN, Senator Tim Scott wants to recommend his friend and fellow South Carolina Representative Trey Gowdy to be one of the candidates. President Donald, okay, and it just goes, he's cut it off here. So I think the important part is that he's planning to recommend Trey Gowdy for Supreme Court. And Q says, what a coincidence. Q. Now, let's go up to this one. And it says, Q says, NSA deleted 685 million call records. Q, did that include HRC McCabe? Okay, I'm sorry. He is quoting an anon here. This is not from Q, this is from an anon. NSA deleted 685 million call records. Q, did that include Hillary Rodham Clinton, McCabe, Strzok, Page, Rosenstein calls? Drain the NSA. And he provides a NSA deleting more than 685 million call records due to technical irregularities. The National Security Agency is deleting more than 685 million call records the government obtained since 2015 from telecommunication companies in connection with investigations raising questions about the viability of the program. The NSA's bulk collection of call records was initially curtailed by Congress after former NSA contractor Edward Snowden leaked documents revealing extensive government surveillance. The law enacted in June 2015 said that going forward, the data would be retained by telecommunications companies, not the NSA, but that the intelligence agency could query the massive database. Now the NSA is deleting all the information it collected from the queries. The agency released a statement late Thursday saying it started deleting the records in May after NSA analysts noted technical irregularities in some data received from telecommunications service providers. It also said the irregularities resulted in the NSA obtaining some call details it was not authorized to receive. The point of the failure of the program, according to David Criss, a top national security official at the Justice Department. Oh, this points to a failure of the program. And yes, okay. Now, let's go back here. So this is a very interesting response by Q. He says, you delete what you no longer need. You save what you do need. Q. So he's answering that indirectly by saying, the things we're deleting, we don't need. We're saving what we do need. So have no fear. That's exactly what he's saying. Q. And really, I had not seen that article until this anon posted this. So if I had seen this article without Q's explanation, I would have been concerned as well. I would have had the same thought. What? No, don't erase them. Seriously. So we can rest assured. Now, the next one is July 1st, and Q is saying, well, this actually, he's quoting an anon here, and he said, but you just said it will not be Gowdy. And Q says, being on the list does not equate to receiving the nomination. Q. So we can, from this, ascertain that Gowdy may indeed be on the list, but he will not receive the nomination. And then Q is pointing to another, he's pointing to his own post here, and he's saying, being on the list does not equate to receiving the nomination. Q. And then below, he says, make no mistake, Gowdy is a patriot. Q. That's good to know because we have been waffling back and forth, right? I have, because I haven't been sure whether he's white hat or black hat. Not sure. And I want to believe that he's white hat, but there was always that suspicion. So now Q has said, look, make no mistake. He may not be getting the nomination for the Supreme Court, but he's a patriot, all right? And, you know, POTUS is going to put people where they belong. And they may be, taken from one job, and we may think, oh, he's doing that because they're not doing a good job or whatever, but actually POTUS has a place where they will be more useful. And we've seen a lot of moving around in this administration. So the next post by Q, July 1st, do you feel the emotion, anger this writer has? Well, let's go see if we do. Get a grip, people. Your conspiracy-minded impulses are making you look stupid. Oh gosh, no, I don't sense anything there. Do you? Well, of course we do. And of course there is, this is certainly written in animosity. Rather than discredit President Donald Trump's immigration policies on their merits, people resorted to wild conspiracy theories this week. People love conspiracy nonsense that confirms their worst priors about their political opponents. That sends a message to people in the political middle. They see this nonsense and wonder if it's the best argument you can come up with and whether that maybe means your position is indefensible. You'd think it would be easy enough to make arguments against the Trump administration immigration policies on their own merits rather than resorting to numerology and asserting the Department of Homeland Security press releases contain secret neo-Nazi flags borne out in their paragraph structures and formatting choices. Okay, haven't heard that one. But here we are. A theory from Oakland software executive Lori Voss made the rounds on Twitter Thursday, arguing a February DHS release about border issues contained Nazi dog whistles because its headline began with, "We must secure," and ran 14 words, similar to the 14 words that are a popular slogan among neo-Nazis. There was more evidence. This release had 14 points, perhaps another reference to the 14 words, and it oddly quoted a statistic out of 88 instead of the usual 100. 88 corresponds to HH or Heil Hitler, can be another neo-Nazi tag. Too much to be a coincidence, right? It was enough to get the theory, the people saying, treatment from BuzzFeed, which later switched to a headline emphasizing the Homeland Security Department's denial that it was using a press release to send hidden Nazi messages. I'm not always inclined to take DHS spokespeople at their word. They do lie, but there are significant problems with Voss's theory that lead me to believe pretty strongly they're telling the truth here. Okay, so it's going into the conspiracy theories and blah, blah, blah. Oh, and now there's a conspiracy theory about Anthony Kennedy. I can't even understand. Just as Anthony Kennedy's son was an executive at Deutsche Bank whose group made a number of loans to Trump over the years. This has a number of Democrats calling for an investigation of why Kennedy, who is 81 years old, had a mostly conservative record over his 30 years on the court and was appointed by a Republican, would possibly have wanted to retire in a circumstance where he'd get a conservative successor. So, anyway, and it goes on. This is how people fall for QAnon. People love conspiracy nonsense. Okay, let's go back. Come on. Oh, can't make my fingers work. It's so hot in here. All right. Oh, it's really hot in here, but I think we are just about done here. Okay, I forgot to go down here. Doxing the billboard owners, and then he leaves a quote here. And of course, doxing, that's a fairly new term. I mean, it's not, I guess a lot of the internet type terms are new, but doxing means to expose somebody's personal information. So let's go here, and Snopes, good old Snopes, the paragon of virtue. Billboards promoting 4chan conspiracy theory QAnon pop up across America. And of course we know that QAnon isn't even on 4chan anymore. Billboards next to Georgia and Oklahoma highways reference a farcical and ill-defined deep state conspiracy theory, but who's paying for them? In May 2018, a Reddit user posted the image of a billboard in southern Oklahoma to the subreddit Great Awakening, which is dedicated to a largely incoherent, ever-widening conspiracy theory known as The Storm, with the hashtag QAnon, that involves an anonymous group of highly placed government individuals nobly fighting the corruption of the deep state, that is to say, the civil servants who work within the American government while representing themselves as someone going only by Q. The billboard sports an oversized American flag, bedazzled letter Q, next to which is the text, "Where we go one, we go all," a popular Q slogan, which apparently is a line in the 1996 Jeff Bridges movie White Squall, whose plot involves people surviving a storm. The name of the conspiracy: on a sailboat, a metaphor. The billboard primarily promotes the website doyouknowq.com, which, though it has the appearance of being informative, seems primarily concerned with pure profit. An archived version of the website from May 2018 shows that it was once in the business of selling Q-related website domains at a significant markup. Now, their online store links to a calf press web shop selling Q brand merchandise like t-shirts and mugs. We called the company that owns the billboard space, Lindmark Outdoor Media, to confirm that the billboard was real and to inquire about its origins. A representative who answered a call to their corporate office told us that the billboard, which is found between exits 21 and 24 on southbound I-35 north of the Texas border, was real, that it had been rented since the 1st of May 2018, and that it appeared to be booked through to the end of the year. We asked what group paid for the ad and were first told that it was not a group but an individual, though we were told they could not disclose any information about this person. The first representative we spoke to at Lindmark used the word "she" to refer to the owner multiple times. Wasn't me. A follow-up call from our managing editor yielded a statement from a different representative of the company. That individual told us, as far as the billboard itself, we don't know anything about the people behind the billboard and what it means as far as that goes. We can't give away people's names. We don't like to get involved with anything political. I had never heard of them until we looked this up on the internet to make sure it wasn't political. We don't like any of that sort of thing, sorry. On 29th of June 2018, a tweet from Daily Beast Tech and internet reporter Will Summer suggested that the phenomena of Q-inspired billboards was not limited to Oklahoma. QAnon, and here's Will Summer saying, "QAnon billboards are a thing now. This one's in Georgia. There have been multiple pictures of the same billboard, which suggests that the billboard is real and that it's just south of the Tennessee border in northern Georgia on northbound I-75. Dixieland Fireworks, occupying the billboard space directly above the QAnon billboard, is located right off the first I-75 exit after passing north into Tennessee." So I'm not seeing where they're doxing the owners here, but saying the Georgia billboard, unlike the Oklahoma one, does not appear to be motivated by any sort of profit. It merely contains the hashtag QAnon and the text "Truth is freedom." It is unclear what advertising firm owns the billboard space. However, the most prominent firm in the region is Lamar Advertising. We spoke with the sales manager of their Rome, Georgia office to ask if the billboard was theirs. She was not familiar with the advertisement, and after a search of their records and a discussion with their graphic designer, she told us they are confident it does not belong to them. The only other possible firm it could belong to, based on our discussion with Lamar, would be a company called Fairway Outdoor Advertising. We spoke with a representative of that company who was unaware of the advertisement and who forwarded us to their sales manager. We reached out to him via email and voicemail, but have not received a response. The basis, if you will call it that, for the storm conspiracy theory are breadcrumbs of vague information or aphorisms left by Q on the misogynistic, racist, and troll-filled online message board. Yes, it is troll-filled. That is 4chan. The beauty of the conspiracy is that these nuggets of information are so meaningless that people can interpret them literally any way they want, and then retroactively attribute current events as having been predicted by this anonymous entity. Another beauty, apparently, is that anyone can buy a billboard and claim to be involved. Snopes has long been engaged in the battle against misinformation. Oh, yes, you have, Snopes. Yes, we all believe everything you say. Anyway, yeah. So we can see what Snopes thinks of Q, but of course that would, if they were saying that Q was real, I would actually I think that I would start second guessing it. But, all right, let's go back. So, he's saying doxing the billboard owners. So, and that's what they were trying to do. They didn't actually succeed, but that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to find out who owned these billboards. They were not successful, except in the one case of the guy that had that website. And then, according to this, what we just read, they are scared of you. Nothing is more powerful than the public being awake and collectively free thinking, talking, etc. Stay united. Q. And I think we intend to. And now, here is another thing that Q posted, which is meant to encourage us. And it was posted July 1st, and it's sealed indictments from October 30th, 2017, which is around the time when Q started posting. And it's around the time when all the military personnel posed with POTUS in the Oval Office, and he said, do you know what this represents? This right here is the calm before the storm. So all of this was around the same time. So these sealed indictments are from October 30th, 2017 through June 30th, 2018. So they are very recent, and we can see here, I'm not going to go through all of this, but this has the time frames up here. This is 10:30 to 11:22, 11:27 to 12:22. So this is as time goes on, and these are, of course, the states. And we can see, look at down here in California. Whoa. Wow. From 6/1 to 6/30, 525. And the last period, 539, 509, 486. Only 12 over January, and I don't know, maybe they were vacationing. Anyway, there's a lot. So Q is telling us, wow, some of these states have a lot. And it says how many are normal? 1,077 in all of 2006. Per 2009 report, per the 2009 report, in 2006 there was only 1,077. The numbers present new sealed court proceedings filed in the U.S. District Criminal Courts during the periods listed and include criminal charges and search warrants. Some of them have since been unsealed or removed. So these are the totals here in each of the periods. And what's it add up to? 40,483, which averages to 5,060 per month. So they're doing more sealed indictments in 1 month than they did in all of 2006. In 1 month, they're doing 5 times what they did in all of 2006. So yeah, I would say that's not normal. Not normal. So Q says good tracking. Ask yourself, is this normal? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. And if there are Democrats out there saying that it's normal, well, either they're too stupid to figure it out for themselves, or they're intentionally trying to mislead. One or the other. This is bigger than people can possibly imagine. Nothing being done? Q. And for all of the people that claim that nothing's being done, we have this. So, yeah. Let's go on. And Q points to the post that we just looked at and responds to himself by saying, ask yourself, who is filing the indictments? It would take a very large team to work this quickly. Who has that kind of manpower? And then he says 470. And I'm not going to go back out to this because we have looked at this like a million times about the Sessions using a Utah federal prosecutor much better than Trump's second special counsel, and we agree on that. But the other thing is, and I put a link here, but I'm not going to go out to it because the temperature is steadily climbing in here, and I can't take it much more. Anyway, this 470, I believe, is reference to the slew of assistant attorney generals that were hired. And that's who's bringing these indictments, I believe. That's what I think. Because here we have the article by The Hill saying that they were adding 300, but to my knowledge, I think it was actually 470, what that number, because I know it was over 300. So, and this was that Justice Department adding over 300 assistant U.S. attorneys. Well, why would they do that? Why would they need that many? Well, we just looked at the reason why. It's going to take that many, and probably more. So, let's go back. And Q says, ask yourself, does Huber have the ability to file across all 50 states? Is any of this normal? Think sealed indictments. My understanding would be that he cannot file across all 50 states, and that is why they need all of these assistant attorney generals. But I could be wrong, and if I am, please correct me in the comments below. Contrary to some people that do videos on YouTube, I really enjoy being corrected because, first of all, I want to be right. I want to have the right information myself. Second of all, I want to make sure that you guys get the right information, and I don't want to be disseminating the wrong info if I can at all help it. So please do leave comments below. I look for them, I read them, I appreciate them. So ask yourself, does Huber have the ability to file across all 50 states? Is any of this normal? Think sealed indictments. Think resignations of CEOs. Think resignations of senators. Think resignations of Congress. Think termination of senior FBI. Think termination of senior DOJ. Media blackout. And there has been a media blackout on all that. Midterms punt. All or nothing. Race. Would a second Supreme Special Counsel take years to complete? Yes. Would a second Special Counsel be based in corrupt DC? Probably. Would the grand jury be members of the DC community? Yes. Would the percentage of DC voters, what percentage of DC voted for Hillary Rodham Clinton? A very high percent. How large is Mueller's team? It's 20 to 25. Think 470. The more you know. Q. So instead of a second special counsel and Mueller's team is just 20 to 25 people, they now have 470 people that can prosecute. Yeah. Good news. Now, I almost want to split this video, but I'm so close to the end that I'm going to try to push through because I wouldn't be surprised if Q posts again today. So here's July 1st, and it says, looking at the numbers, it doesn't seem to be slowing down or wrapping up either. And that is an anon that is posting this, and Q is bringing attention to it. And Q says, think stages. What role can military intelligence play? What role can NSA play? Bang. Q. Well, they can provide them with the information that they need because they have all the call records, they have everything. They have all the texts, they have everything. And Q keeps telling us they have it all. How many times have we heard that? We have it all. So we can rest assured in that. Now, the next one is a link that Q provides us, and let's go take a look. Wow. America really did have a Manchurian candidate in the White House. Wow. This is from the Washington Times. If you have never seen the old movie, The Manchurian Candidate, I mean, please rent it. You can probably find a place to view it for free online. The old one, the black and white one. If you ever had an opportunity to see that, please see it, because it is a very important, it's important, and it has a lot of information in it. And it brought me a whole lot of understanding. I remember watching that and watching the remake they did of it. So, after returning from a tour of some of the war zones in the Middle East, which ended with the Free Iran Gathering 2018 in Paris, I am struck by the realization that America really did have a Manchurian Candidate in the White House for 8 years. If you look at the evidence, there really is no other conclusion. The calamitous consequences of the Obama presidency will be felt for the foreseeable future. In the short year and a half that President Trump has been in office, he has put in place policy that has mitigated the damage that President Obama inflicted on our national security and all our allies. Excuse me. Just one moment. Alrighty. The speed with which Trump has been able to turn things around points to the diabolical, oh my gosh, depths that Obama administration went to in order to undermine our national strength and way of life. All Trump had to do was stop doing the things that hurt America. America could then take care of itself. The results are plain as day. However, it will take decades for the Obama damage to be completely undone. The deviousness of the Obama sedition runs deep. Think about it for a moment. If you wanted peace in the Middle East, why would you throw away the trillions of dollars spent, as well as the lives of thousands of American souls, irresponsibly pulling out all American troops from Iraq? No matter your thoughts on starting the war, pulling out was an irresponsible thing to do. We still have troops in Germany, Korea, and Japan, for God's sakes. Why? For stability, that's why. As Colin Powell said, we broke it, now we own it. It was a given that instability would follow the forced withdrawal. When you combine this act with the reality that Obama never really did try to defeat the Islamic State, what conclusion can you come up with? Trump defeated them in a few months. The conclusion is obvious. Obama didn't want to destroy them. That's right. That's right. However, the coup de grace of anti-American activity was the JCPOA, or to say it another way, the agreement to give Iran everything it wanted, including nuclear weapons and money, lots of money, which it immediately used to further destabilize the region and existentially threaten the only democracy in the Middle East, Israel. To take it a step, well, I guess we could see what else it says. To take it a step further, why didn't Obama support the opposition against the mullahs in 2009 when there was an obvious chance for regime change in Iran? Why didn't Obama confront Bashar Assad's chemical weapons use? One of the main unanswered questions is, what ties did Valerie Jarrett really have to the Iranian regime? I'd like to know that myself. I wouldn't go into why Obama ran up more debt for the United States than all previous presidents combined. I won't ask why he weakened our armed forces. I won't ask why he used tyrannical policies like using the agencies of the federal government to go after his political opposition. I won't ask why he politicized our security apparatus in an attempt to frame President Trump. Yes, he did. What I will say is that there was a big fox in the henhouse for 8 long years. 8 long years for people like Brennan, Hillary, Kerry, Clapper, Comey, and Jarrett to really hurt us regarding our safety and security. Trump has a lot of house cleaning to do. Thank goodness he's being quick about it. That is an awesome article. Awesome. Very well written, and I'm surprised to see it, to tell you the truth. So let's move on. And here, oh yes. Q provides us with a link and says, thank you, U.S. Secret Service. Oh, this is interesting. Let's go take a boo. Stunning revelation buried deep in IG report blows hole in Lynch Clinton tarmac meeting narrative. Oh, what have we here? Well, let's see. A stunning revelation buried deep inside Department of Justice Inspector General Michael Horowitz's report on the FBI's Hillary Clinton email investigation suggests the controversial June 2016 tarmac meeting between the Attorney General Loretta Lynch and former President Bill Clinton was coordinated. Oh ho! If true, it blows a hole in the narrative Lynch and Clinton have maintained for 2 years. Lynch claimed the social meeting was spontaneous and the two discussed grandchildren. The meeting was extremely controversial at the time because it came just days before then FBI Director James Comey announced the FBI would not recommend criminal charges against Clinton for using a private email server while Secretary of State. The report states that the DOJ Department of Public Affairs supervisor traveling with Lynch told internal DOJ investigators that Clinton's Secret Service detail contacted Lynch's security detail ahead of time to arrange the meeting. Well, isn't that special? Clinton's plane was parked next to Lynch's, the report revealed, or about just 20 to 30 yards away. Clinton told investigators he only learned the plane next to his was Lynch's after being briefed by his staff. He claimed he then debated whether or not he should say hello and shake hands with the Attorney General. In addition, Lynch revealed to the DOJ investigators she was not social with the Clintons and had never met with either one of them prior to the tarmac meeting. Both Clinton and Lynch denied discussing nefarious subjects such as the DOJ's Clinton investigation known as Midyear or any other matters involving the Clintons' public life. They both maintained the conversation was lighthearted and personal. The report goes on to detail that Lynch's staff, who were waiting outside the plane in a staff van, felt blindsided and shocked that Lynch would meet with the former president. Finally, it was Lynch's senior counselor who broke up the meeting when she realized it would become extremely problematic if the media learned Lynch had just met with the husband of a subject in a major investigation. The senior counselor said she could not recall what she heard when she entered the plane, but said Lynch appeared uncomfortable and wanted the meeting to be done. According to the report, the meeting between Lynch and Clinton lasted about 20 minutes. Yeah. Raise your hand if you're surprised. Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't even see one hand. All right. Now, Q goes on to say, there will be no civil war. Now, that is what is dominating the news cycle right now, is this whole civil war. And I think they're trying to whip everybody up into a frenzy and actually cause it. And Q is saying there's a coordinated mainstream media hysteria designed to instill fear, to change the narrative. North Korea is not advancing their weapons program. Coordinated mainstream media hysteria designed to instill fear, to change the narrative. It's fake news. Q. So Q is assuring us that, number one, North Korea is not advancing their weapons program. No matter what you hear on the news, it's false. It's false and fake news. Number two, there will be no civil war. There you have it. It's meant to instill fear. It's meant to get the narrative off where it should be. So that is good news. Now, this is the last post, and for today. Now, I don't know. This was July 1st. I did not see any posts from Q for today, but I will check later on in the day. And if there are more posts, I will bring you another video. But this shows a cartoon by Ben Garrison, who is extremely, extremely talented. And it has a house divided. On this side, you have Never Trump, Freedom, Our Republic, Free Stuff. And of course, the Democrats are all for free stuff. Social media free speech is behind bars on this side. And they're shaking our democracy. And, we've got skeletons down here too, I think. Clinton closet. Oh, yeah, we got lots of skeletons and money. And Here we got war. And we've got Anon in the middle here with a noose. And on this side, we've got the Republicans saying protect borders. We've got the Democrats saying open borders. Me too. You got the Statue of Liberty with a question mark. Lots of things in this. And then we've got Soros as a slithering snake. And this is Hillary falling downstairs. Russia, Russia, Russia. We've got the pyramid here with the eye. Yeah, this is very well done. Oh, we've got, I assume this is Q. I don't know. But Trump is playing 3D chess here with the world, I guess. Okay, with the world. He's playing 3D chess with the world over here. And we've got someone saying Nazi and crying. Social justice warrior, safe space. And we've got the snow, the little snowflakes crying. And we've got Trump people calling them a Nazi. No, they're calling this guy a Nazi, I guess. All right. Okay, that's it. And you've got Uncle Sam here, just, kind of observing what's going on. Yeah, this is very well done. I love his cartoons, Ben Garrison. You can tell that he's got a very quick mind. Anyway, and Q says, thank you, Ben. We rather enjoyed this one. Where we go one, we go all. Q. Now that brings us up to date on the Q posts, and today is July 2nd. As I said, it's now 4:06 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will keep an eye. Well, I won't actually keep an eye on the post because that is painful. I don't like taking my eyes out. I don't like it at all. So anyway, I will update you later, and I hope you have a wonderful day this July 2nd. It is sweltering hot where I am. I hope that you are somewhere cool. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe.